Okay, so for our weapons and our bullets, so we have a basic attack, which is a bite attack, but this is also used as a tool to get powers from enemies. So throughout the game we will collect powers and combine them to get stronger ones. We have 5 base powers with just like 5 elements: fire, water, earth, air, and wind. And you get these other powers from combining the base powers together. So in this level we have the fire and earth basic attack, but the order in which you combine things matter. So here we have the fire and earth, which makes lava, which you shoot, and it just creates some lava pellets in the ground that when the enemy walks over them, they take damage. And this is the reflect attack, which reflects an enemy attack back at you. These powers are represented in the heads-up display in the top left-hand corner. The red box is the currently active power, and the yellow box is the displays whether or not you have key items. You can switch between the items by pressing 1, 2, or 3. By pressing 2, you switch to the second item, and by pressing 3, you would switch to the third. You can also combine items by holding down. You can also drop items by holding Q and pressing the number you want to drop. So that's dropping that item. So the inventory is a component which holds the powers and your key item. There's also the inventory scene, which allows you to interact with the powers in your inventory. In your inventory, there's a description for the power, which tells you the name, the damage, and how many shots you have left with it, and also the effect. Some powers, like the base powers, have unlimited shots, but powers like this special power have a certain amount of charges. So there's only 2 charges left on that. Bullets have a damage component, and they get their damage from the power that's associated with them. Enemies have 2 types of damage. They have contact damage, and they have the damage from their powers. And they only do damage with their powers if they decide to shoot. We have 3 different shaders in this game. We have a shader that makes the enemy turn white, and just for hit flash. We also have a burn shader, which sets the enemy to a fire texture when they take damage from the fire component, from the fire attack. And then we also have a swirl shader, which you can lightly see on this pot here. And the lightness of the shader is intentional, because this pot, when you bite the pot with the shader on it, you get a hidden power from it. Also, you can see when you're using the secret item, you get a healing status effect, which is displayed in the HUD by displaying the icon under the HUD. We also have a regular world view and a mini-map. So in the mini-map, items that block vision are colored gray, as you can see here. Regular tiles that block movement are solid black, the player is yellow, and enemies are red. Our game has several NPCs. We have the regular earth and fire type NPCs, as you've seen before, with basic follow movements or patrol. But the other type of NPC for this level is a key NPC, and they hold the key to progress to the next level. Using the powers that we got throughout the level, we can defeat the key enemy, get the key NPC, get the key component, and use it to progress to the next level. But we also have moving tiles, which operate like enemies with patrol. Most of our assets come from The Legend of Zelda on the Game Boy, the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages, and Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. And we get our font from an online resource called The Font and Super Legend Boy.
The way we've implemented game progression is that every time you complete a level, you obtain a key by defeating a certain NPC, and after you obtain the key, you'll be able to jump through a door, a portal, sort of, back into the overworld, which then allows you to progress to the next level, level 2. And likewise, you have to complete level 2, get the key from that level in order to go on to the next. And you won't be able to complete level 2 without obtaining the key from level 1, and so on and so forth, until you have all 3 keys from all 3 levels. Then you'll be able to jump into this black hole and fight the final boss. This is the final boss level design, and we've included parallax here. So there are, I believe, 4 layers. There's the background, which is just the red gradient. Then there are additional 3 layers on top of that, the big cubes, the little cubes, and the stars. So the way we implemented parallax is that every time you, instead of background, you get to choose the speed at which it moves across the screen. And we implemented infinite scrolling as well for the parallax. So it's just, yes, the big things look closer, hence they move faster, and the little ones move slower because they are further away, to give the illusion of depth. So for the boss level, he spawns in like that and then goes through this phase where he comes in. And then we implemented like states for him, where he transitions through each state in a cycle. So the first one, he chases you around and then shoots a fireball, shoots an ice ball, which both do a harder damage. Then he returns to his home base and shoots those 2 wind slashes at you. And then this, he charges up a big fireball, shoots at you, takes half your health. If you get hit by like pretty much lost. And this, I like to call Kamehameha, like a very long laser, also does a lot of damage. And during when he's firing those 2 big attacks, the Kamehameha and the big fireball, he is invulnerable to your attacks. But when he shoots a fireball and an ice ball at you, they are honing attacks. So they follow the player around and try to do damage. They also have a lifespan, so they don't stay on the screen infinitely. And additionally, with the boss level, these are pickups for the powers. So you can pick up a power and then combine them to get different powers to defeat the boss, depending on what you like. Different power-ups have different status effects and different damage. Yes. So he just cycles through those phases. He does have a lot of health, so you have to keep going at it to try and kill him. Alright, this is gonna be a full playthrough of the boss level. I'm sure I can beat him before I die. Oh my gosh. Come on. Please work. There we go.
For rebinding the keys during the gameplay, you can just pause the game and then you will have the pause menu. You can select any of these actions and you can rebind them. Let's suppose I want to rebind left, then I click left, and on the bottom you can see press a key for the left. I can press any key, let's press Z, and then when I will unpause the game, when I press Z, the player will go to the left. The way it works is there is a flag inside scene play and it keeps tracks whenever the game is paused and a player selects to rebind the key, the flag is set to the true. And whatever input we put after that goes to the game engine, and game engine calls a function to register that action inside the actions. To access the level editor, you can just press C in the main menu, which will take you to an empty screen. Here you can select all the components before drawing a tile, and then you can also change the tag of the tile. And then here you can select any animation you want to use. Let's use this one. And you can see we have drag and spawn functionality as well. We can also spawn multiple entities at a time. And if you want to redone from this functionality, just press R. And then we have scene properties. You can click on any tile, which will give you all the components the tile can have, and then you can edit them or delete them if you want. And then we have entry manager, which will show you all the entries on the screen. Then action map. And you can also scroll in, scroll out using Q and E. And then you can move up, down, left, right using W, S, A, D. If you are done with your level, you can just save your level by pausing the game. Then you can either save in slot 1 to 3 or load your preloaded level from slot 1 to 3. Let's load level number 3. Here you can see this is the level number 3 I created for the game. And NPCs in this level have two different properties. Some of them can fly and some of them cannot. The one who can fly, you can shoot them and they will come back after some time. We also have moving tiles in this level. And then we have falling tiles. And then we have final boss, Zelda. We take the key, we can go outside. For level 3, we can get damage from stepping on the lava, then we can respawn on our initial position. But if we get damage from the enemies, if we don't get respawn, we get to the game over screen where we can select either we want to retry the level or go back to the menu. The theme for level number 3 is darkness and fire. So here you can see I'm using ray casting to calculate the glows. The whole screen is a black mask, then we create these triangles. Then instead of drawing those triangles, we blend multiply those triangles, so we invert the alpha values. So everything which was inside the triangles will be shown, but the other things outside the triangles will be black. Then we create another mask, which is the circular mask, which kind of shows us the glow effect. From the main menu, we can either start playing the game, which will take us to the overworld, which has different levels to play, or either we can load a previously loaded level. Let's take it to the level 3. Or we can go to the options and change the volume level. And we can also change the difficulty from here. To save any game at any point, you can just press P in your level, which will show you the pause menu, and then you can save your game in any specific slot. Let's assume we save in the slot number 3. And then we can just go into the load menu and load from that slot. You can see it's right over there. So for the saving and loading the game, we have a separate function which is toString, which converts all the components to the strings and which belongs to the component class. And then we are just loading them in the text file. Just like we're loading a normal level, we are loading from the component file. When loading the components, we just read them from the file and create them and give it to the specific entities. Here you can see this is the level we just played, and here are all the components associated with that level. The sound effect in our game is a mixture of different games. Some of them are taken from Mario, some of them are taken from an online game I used to play when I was a kid, Fireboy and Water Girl. And then there are a lot of jumping effects, chewing effects. They are all taken from a website called Pixabay. And the theme song is taken from a website called Kinsider. And as you can see, every level has a different sound. When an enemy dies, he kind of says die.